mantle is passed from father to son, Netflix is taking the reins of Ultraman from the Tokyo Broadcasting System and bringing this iconic Japanese hero to a new generation. With a new look, darker story, and dare I say it, a plot, Ultraman's 2019 facelift strays from the original, but it definitely honors it. So how do these 13 new episodes stack up? Set your 3-minute color timer for some instant noodles. I'm Kris Carr, and today on Nerdflix and Chill, we're talking about Netflix's Ultraman.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome to Nerdflix and Chill, giving you a taste before you binge. Before we dive into all things Ultraman, I'd love to thank all of our supporters on Patreon. Thanks to donors like y'all, we live to stream and shoot another day. Be sure to head over to our Patreon page and see which donation tier works for you. You'll earn our eternal gratitude, shoutouts, and behind-the-scenes peeks. Like, sharing, and subscribing are awesome ways to support us all here at NerdWire too. And just some ground rules, there could be some light premise spoilers in the first half of this review, and there definitely will be big spoilers at the tail end. Don't worry, I'll give you plenty of warning before I'm dropping big reveals. There'll be graphics and me yelling, so you'll know when to tune out if you want to go into your binge fresh as a daisy. On to Ultraman! The pilot is built to bring us up to speed on what went down in the 1960s show. Now, if you're a total Ultraman newbie, this is great. You'll learn about Ultraman's origins, how he and Hayata had fused to fight evil alien threats, and that the two had gone their separate ways, leaving Hayata without any memories of his time fighting kaiju.
And so he returned to the distant universe. The human with whom he had merged returned to his former life, but with no memory of what had transpired.
If you've watched my History of Ultraman video, or you're just a big ol' Ultraman fan, you'll know that the English translation of the series finale had Hayata knowing he was Ultraman and knowing that Ultraman would come back again whenever Earth needed protecting. In Netflix's reboot, we're getting a little column A, column B. Hayata did in fact have his memory erased, to the point where he has no recollection of Ultraman whatsoever. His friend and former Science Patrol bro, Ide, jogs his memory and informs him that both he and his son are compatible with Ultraman.
Hey, Dad? Can I go look over there?
All right. But no running, okay?
Okay.
I'm gonna assume Shinjiro isn't gonna be great with orders. This Ultraman gene, or Ultraman factor, gives them super strength, the ability to leap tall buildings in a single bound, and fall off of things without getting a single scratch. Yeah, I know, right? An entire story, and they're just like, he's fine.
No, walk it off.
He's good. Later, he even gains the ability to fly.
What the? It can fly?
Dude can fly.
Over the course of the series, Shinjiro learns about his limitations as Ultraman, classic soup stuff like this great power comes with great responsibility and identity concealment, and the politics surrounding Ultraman that he's now been thrust into through no fault of his own. Bearing the name and armor of Ultraman has its highs, and it has its lows.
Whoever wears the Ultra suit has a heavy cross to bear. Along with all its powers comes a darkness.
Obviously, the show has made some changes. The live-action suited actors are swapped out for CG animation. This is where I think most people are going to be divided about enjoying the show. There are definitely some funky frame rates and over-movement at times, but all in all, I wasn't fazed by this 3D CG look. What did rub me the wrong way for a while was that our new hero wasn't towering around Japan at 170 feet tall like dear old dad could. He's human-sized. I kept waiting for this dude to go Giant Man and battle big epic kaiju. That being said, the more Iron Man mech approach does in fact work and grounds the series. And don't worry, Ultraman still packs a punch against his alien enemies.
You messed with the wrong human, you oversized iguana!
Where the series really soars is in its battle scenes thanks to the use of motion capture. Unlike the more mundane, everyday animation and background work where we see a glitch here and there, the fights flow beautifully and play out like live action. If you're gonna nail something in Ultraman, better be the battles, and boy howdy do they deliver on action. Side quest. I love how the police are so anti-Ultraman. They're like treating him like they're on Arrow's anti-vigilante squad. GTFO nerds, he's saving the day. This is his blood right.
It's an Ultraman! Cosplayer.
Also, they write him off as a cosplayer? I'm sorry, you just saw that dude fly. there are some impressive costumes at con, but are you all suggesting he's doing wire work?
Step back, please. I'm not playing games. Move!
Just the cops being like, excuse me, sir, you gotta get out of here in your silly costume.
3 point lands. There's an explosion of dust.
Right?
And they're like, wow, that's a good costume.
That's a really good costume.
Oh, man.
It's not Halloween, kid. Get out of here. What the f?
These Ultraman cosplayers. And bear in mind, his costume looks nothing
Like the
Ultraman.
original. Ultraman was a Monster of the Week series, and while we definitely have that with the rotating rogues gallery of aliens who appear in the show, we have an actual storyline as well, revolving around the investigative work of the police, as well as what big plans the Science Patrol have up their sleeve.
You fought a kaiju, haven't you?
That big lizard?
Right. Well, this thing is a choju, which is even worse.
For Ultraman purists, you're still getting a lot of the bits and bobs of Ultraman that you know and love. Though upgraded, his suit is still iconic and recognizable. He's got that Ultra Slash and Specium Ray, and they even found a way to better utilize the color timer.
Once it's released, your suit will be able to perform at maximum level.
Understood.
Well, now that's interesting.
Truly, this series plays out as a love letter to the original series. And for just anime enthusiasts, we've got one of the most constant anime tropes ever, the involvement of an idol.
Don't know what to say.
Hi.
Hi. Keep up the good work.
Well, I'll try.
Why? It's so weird. Why is she a singer? While the dialogue, particularly if you're dubbing, can feel really clunky at times, it still lends itself to feeling nostalgic. It's a little cheesy, but so is the original show. It's a very similar vibe to the classic series. Plus, if you're going dub, you'll be gifted with the voice of anime dubbing's Lord and Savior, Stephen J. Bloom.
Ladies and gentlemen, here they are, the heroes you've been waiting for.
I'm pretty sure that's Matthew Mercer as Bemular. Worth it for those two, in my humble opinion. It should be noted as well that the dub is a lot more PG-13 than the sub, which plays a bit more fast and loose with language. So if you're jonesing for Japanese F-bombs, that's gonna be your speed. Now, before I said a little cheesy, do I kinda wish they went cheesier overall? I totally do. Cheddawizzy that schniz! But I can watch the original if I'm missing the over-the-top action or goofiness. Or I can stream VR Troopers, which is apparently on Netflix. Oh, what a time to be alive! Generally speaking, this take on Ultraman feels like an excellent addition to the franchise. I love that after all these years, we're still expanding the canon.
Stop it, Moroboshi!
If you're totally new to Ultraman, you'll still enjoy this. They explain the origins well, so you aren't missing out. And if you're a die-hard OG fan, you'll appreciate the continuation of Ultraman's story, how they've gone to great lengths to explain how these new Ultra dudes could exist and function, and the little details they've included for fanboys and fangirls.
The giant of light and the human called Ultraman are now just a memory. Something to be read about in history books.
Spoilers! Let's talk about some actual spoilers and Easter eggs for fans. And like I said earlier, here is your last and final warning if you want to get into this series totally blind. I can't be responsible for your bad decisions.
The warning light begins to blink. Should it stop completely, it will mean Ultraman will never rise again.
All right, Ultra fans, you're getting both Ultra 7 and Ultra Ace in this series.
That suit you were wearing the other day, what was that?
The Ultraman suit, version 7.0.
Ultraman 7 arrived on our planet after it caught his attention while mapping the Milky Way. He took on the appearance of a human who he dubbed Dan Moroboshi and became Earth's protector. Ultraman Ace, or Ultraman A as he's sometimes called, was the first Ultra to possess two human hosts at the same time. He merged Seiji Hokuto with Yuko Minami to alter his personality. He wanted the courage of a man and a woman's love of peace. This has been changed in the series. We know that Yuko is an alien visitor threatened by mercenaries that Seiji wants to protect. In the Ultraman universe, Ultraman Ace is one of the most powerful Ultra Brothers.
Time to cut you down to size!
Here's hoping future seasons give us more Ultramen and more of these guys' backstories. I'm dying to know more about Dan.
My name is Dan Moroboshi. And no.
Whatever.
What I really enjoy about this series is that good and evil isn't black and white. We have monsters, bad, versus Ultraman, good, in the original show. Here, there isn't always an easy distinction. There are good aliens, there are bad aliens. And sure, it's easy to tell the bad ones if they're doing something like eating all the organs out of a human, but the show takes a much more nuanced approach with the rest of its extraterrestrials. There are good humans, and super shady ones. Like how I'm still wondering who and what the hell Jack is. He's gotta be Ultraman Jack, right? I mean, that bracelet of his does look a lot like Ultraman Jack's Ultra bracelet. Hopefully, we'll figure that out in season 2.
Hey, what's the rush, huh?
And speaking of ambiguous characters, what is the deal with the Science Patrol? Have they been pushing Shinjiro just to make him activate? Bemular seemed to have a similar goal in mind. Could they be on the same side? We learned towards the end of the series that Bemular hasn't been the baddie we've assumed him to be.
Bemular didn't destroy that plane.
What?
It was done by some alien mercenaries that's...
Gasp! Bemular was actually trying to save that plane, not blow it up, and has worked to stop mercenaries seeking to kill aliens. To be fair though, he did turn Hayata into a dad kebab in episode 2. So, I feel like we were right to not trust him, right? Nice guys don't stab people. They just don't. Also, since Shinjiro now looks like a true warrior of light, will we get to see him get ginormous like Papa Hayata?
Using the beta capsule, Hayata becomes Ultraman.
Ugh, fingers crossed for epic huge fights in the future.
Is the show good?
I think it's a fun show. Is it giant aliens fighting giant dudes? No. Like, I wish it had more Power Rangers kind of feel to it. But it's a new thing, and that's fine. They can try to do their thing. If I want to watch things fight each other, I'll watch Godzilla. I'll watch a classic show. Yeah, this is where I'm just gonna yell about stuff.
Episode 2, 037.
Clutch parenting. He throws his kid into a helicopter.
Oh,
Dad is crazy. Oh, I've just been skewered? Come at me, bro.
Be all right.
He's not all right.
Your father survived. He was in very bad shape. But
Yeah, he was stabbed through the chest. Who taught you anatomy? Who the f is this second string California raisin?
I am Ado, the last of the Zetonians.
He sounds like he's speaking whale.
A lot of people have made that mistake. And then boom, they never knew what hit them.
Seiji is a straight up gangster. Whew, man, that is an angry Ivysaur. Yay, these noodles would be better if they're coming out of a robot. I'd love to hear your opinions on the series. Do you have hot takes on the story, the animation, the lack of giant dudes? Go down below and let me know. For more videos on kaiju, anime, lore, and more, click to the left of my face or stream us right in your living room on Roku or Plex. Thanks again for all our supporters on Patreon, and thank you for watching. See you, Space Cowboy.